indisputable exclusive. Police officers got in touch with us because they saw an injustice at their police department that was not going to be corrected. Let's put the picture up of the victim, according to the whistleblowers who happen to be cops. You're looking at a man who was suffering a mental health crisis, but was beaten by the police in July, according to the Riverdale, Georgia police. This was July of last year. Rather than facing consequences for their part in the beating, the two officers were allowed to simply transfer out of the department, okay? Now, the cops who did this were not investigated. There was no charge. There was barely a concern. But they couldn't stay at that department. So they transferred to another one. But there are some other officers who say this is wrong. We're going to contact indisputable. That's exactly what they did. Let's put the picture. We got the picture of full mask. So the man at his arrest, he was covered in blood, apparently bleeding from his eye, ear, nose, and mouth. Once again, the context, he was going through a mental health crisis. Several anonymous police officers in the Riverdale Police Department, familiar with the incident, described the body cam footage as disturbing. One said, and I quote, "It doesn't look good." This is what the police said to us. We have requested that video. We are waiting for that video evidence now. The police narrative, all right? The police narrative says the man resisted arrest and his bloody wounds on his hands and feet were from breaking a glass table in his mother's house. Okay, that's on the official report. Here's what Officer Daniel Molina's account states. The suspect was shirtless, bleeding after breaking a glass table in his mother's home. The report alleges the man shoved his mother. Both Daniel and Emmanuel hit the suspect. These are the cops. They hit the suspect with a closed fist after they claimed he resisted arrest. A department insider told us the man who was arrested is the one who made the 911 call. According to the cops' narrative, it says the opposite. The cops' narrative said the mother called the police. Let's put up the cops. Here are the officers and brothers, Daniel and Emmanuel Molina. There they go. They are responsible for what happened to this young man. That's according to insiders at the Riverdale Police Department in the state of Georgia. The Riverdale Police Department would not release the body cam footage in October. They said it was part of an ongoing investigation into the case. They are not investigating the cops. They are citing the investigation into the individual they brutalized. Here's the captain. You have Captain Kirby Threet, who was in charge of internal affairs at the Riverdale Department at the time. Department insiders say Threet did not conduct an internal affairs investigation. They also said the brothers, the cops, were allowed to transfer to the Fayette County Sheriff's Department with their reputation intact. Indisputable reported the same department allowed Officer Antonio Vives to transfer out without disciplinary record after he made a more than questionable arrest at a Walmart. He basically decided to walk up to a black male, stand in front of this black male. Black male walks by him, doesn't touch him. Maybe the shirt nipped the cop and he arrests him. He arrested the black male. It was on video, we showed it to you. This is Vives with the chief, Todd Spivey. Brings me back to a guy we've covered before. Look at this. Here's Riverdale Police Chief Todd Spivey and Fayette County Sheriff Barry H. Bobb. Man, please understand why this is happening. It's called a good old boy system. This system does not work for you. The system works against all of us, and this system is corrupt and dangerous. So now it is so bad that the police are contacting indisputable. That's how bad it is. Think about the reality of that. Now, I don't support bad cops, but I do support good ones. So for all of you who will say, well, Dr. Richey is just anti-police. You damn right I'm anti-bad police every single day. And I will continue to be that. Now, why are the police officers not going on record? Why are the cops not openly contacting the DA of their district or the GBI or the FBI? Because they are afraid. Who are they afraid of? They are afraid of their own damn colleagues. Let that set in. They are afraid of their coworkers. They're not afraid of losing their jobs. They're afraid of being killed, harmed, or their family members being in danger. They have told this to us. I'm not afraid. Now, we're going to continue to dig into this and other allegations that we have now learned that are happening in that police department. To the chief, you should be a damn shame of yourself. I live in Georgia. I may run into you one day. But let me say this, man. The violations that we are aware of, the accusations that we are aware of, how in the hell are you still employed? You yourself, chief, you have a horrible background inside of your own profession. But somehow you have been able to bypass the normative reaction that any other person would have typically had in law enforcement. There's a why there. We're gonna find it. All right, dear sister, what are your thoughts?
When police departments are whistleblowing themselves, that is a big deal, a huge deal. We have enough documented evidence to understand that this rarely ever happens. So you have to wonder, how bad is it over there? What else is going on that we don't know about? And more importantly, why is it being protected and why is it being allowed to continue? And kudos to these whistleblowers, because I think people underestimate how pervasive and pressurized a brotherhood like a police department can be. It takes a lot of guts to speak out against your peers and your colleagues. And there are a lot of risks involved, such as potential retaliation or something happening to themselves or to their families, as you mentioned. The corruption runs deep. These are very real concerns for people, which makes this moment all the more impressive, important, and hopefully influential.
Once again, for anyone who witnesses corruption, brutality, if you believe you are a good cop or a good government employee, whatever you believe, prove it to us, expose it. We have given you an avenue here. All right, we will continue to follow this and update you on the exclusive as it develops.